Could only 107 piddly little facts really be enough for the most legendary animated series of all time? Of course not. This series goes back so far and has so many characters you couldn't even begin to scratch the surface with 107 facts. So we're gonna bump that up to 214 with 107 more facts about The Simpsons. Let's get started. Number 1. Groening actually created the Simpson characters just minutes before the meeting where he pitched the idea. Originally, he had planned to pitch an animated version of his comic strip, Life in Hell, but while waiting to go into the meeting, he realized that if the studio bought his pitch, he would lose the rights to his property. So he quickly drew a cartoon family that was loosely based on his own and called them The Simpsons. Number 2. Each episode has 20 writers at any given time. According to showrunner Allergic, a writer has 4 to 6 weeks to complete rewrites. Usually scripts are revised 6 to 7 times before the table read. Number 3. Despite the Yellow family debuting in shorts on the Tracey Ullman Show, Tracey Ullman disliked them and actively tried to have our now beloved Simpsons removed from the program. However, Wally Wolodarski, writer-producer for both The Tracey Ullman Show and eventually The Simpsons, revealed that the writing staff on The Tracey Ullman Show secretly felt that The Simpsons were the funniest part of the show. Number 4. Dan Castellaneta and Julie Kavner were already regular actors on The Tracey Ullman Show when they were casted as Homer and Marge. Castellaneta is also the voice of the Robot Devil and Grumpy Snail in Futurama and Arnold's grandpa in Hey Arnold. Number 5. In an interview, Groening admitted that, though it's meant to be ambiguous in the show, Springfield was named after Springfield, Oregon. He was inspired by the show Father Knows Best, which takes place in a town called Springfield. As a kid, Groening liked to imagine that the show took place in the town next to where he grew up. He wanted people to feel the same way about the Springfield in his show. Number 6. The episode Homer's Phobia was originally considered unsuitable to air by the network's censors because it dealt with themes of homosexuality and the misconceptions surrounding it. The episode focuses on Homer's homophobia toward a local collectible store owner and an all-around cool guy named John. Number 7. John was voiced by filmmaker John Waters. Waters claimed that he was delighted and surprised how well the writers had crafted his character. His only objection? A joke about John not getting along with his dad, calling the idea too stereotypical. Number 8. Soon after the network appointed a new president and new censors, the episode went up. The episode has been widely praised and went on to win an Emmy and an award from GLAAD for Outstanding Television. Number 9. The show has received criticism on more than one occasion for its negative representations of certain locations, including Brazil in the episode Blame It on Lisa, Australia in Bart vs. Australia, and New Orleans in the episode A Streetcar Named Marge. Number 10. The Simpsons was never popular in Japan either due to its vulgar themes and filthy humor. However, when Japanese media switched focus on Lisa as opposed to Homer and Bart, the show found a new fan base and higher ratings. Number 11. The tobacco plant made popular in the episode E.I.E.I.DO was actually based off an actual tomato grafted with tobacco and revealed in 1959. A fan of the show later engineered and grew a tobacco plant in 2003. Number 12. Fans have noticed that Homer's hair and ear make a shape similar to MG. Some fans believe that this is an Easter egg, as they're the initials of Matt Groening. Number 13. Bart's prank calls to Moe were actually inspired by the Tube Bar recordings, tapes of recorded prank calls to bartender Louis Red Deutsch, who is famous for his short temper. Number 14. His voice was based off of voice actor Hank Azaria's impression of Al Pacino. Number 15. According to the episode Moe Letter Blues, Springfield's zip code is 80085. Squint your eyes and you'll see it spells boobs. This area code is not assigned to any area in the United States, but it is a number that has been punched into every calculator ever in existence. Number 16. In 2009, the United States Postal Service released a commemorative set of Simpsons stamps, and Maggie's was voted the most favorite by consumers. Number 17. The University of California, Berkeley has actually offered a 4-credit course involving The Simpsons called Simpsons in Philosophy. Number 18. Despite the way they act, both Lenny and Carl have master's degrees in nuclear physics. Number 19. According to the show, The Simpsons' house address is 742 Evergreen Terrace. Number 20. The episode The Itchy and Scratchy and Poochie Show was meant as a joke response to the writers receiving pressure from the network to add in a new main character in an attempt to liven up the show. Number 21. Matt Groening was once strip searched by airport security and they teared through all of his stuff. As this happened, a kid nearby pointed his finger and said, "Ha ha," like the Simpsons character Nelson. Groening didn't appreciate the irony. Number 22, while The Simpsons is known for popularizing phrases like "don't have a cowman" and "dough," many sources report another word made popular by the series. Meh. Number 23, many fans suspected the character Milhouse to be a caricature of the character Paul Pfeiffer from the show The Wonder Years. However, Simpsons veteran David Silverman shot down this theory over Twitter by saying, "Wonder Years Schmunder Years, nerdy kid with glasses, big nose, and severe hair equals a common stereotype." So he wasn't ripped off from The Wonder Years, he was ripped off from collective culture. Number 24, Milhouse is actually the middle name of US President Richard Nixon. Number 25, Matt Groening chose the name because it was the most unfortunate name he could think of for a kid. Number 26, Milhouse's first appearance was actually during a Butterfinger ad in 1990 and was used just as someone for Bart to talk to in the cafeteria. Groening reused the character from an unsuccessful pitch for a Saturday morning cartoon show. Number 27, according to the episode Lisa's Rival, Bart got Milhouse added to the FBI's America's Most Wanted list. Number 28, in the episode Homer to the Max, which aired in 1999, the show made a joke referencing the network threatening to replace voice actors by having Ned Flanders show up with a completely different voice. Number 29, the Fox network is contractually prohibited from censoring any of the show's jokes. Number 30, Harry Shearer didn't want to do an animated series, but producer Sam Simon told him it would be fun and he would only work 1 hour a week. According to Harry, the 1 hour a week was a lie. Number 31, of the roughly 12 voices that Harry Shearer does, Mr. Burns is the hardest and requires a lot of tea and honey. Number 32, according to Harry Shearer, there is a group of Christians in England who dress up as Ned Flanders and convene on a regular basis. Number 33, speaking of Ned Flanders, despite how he looks, he's actually 60 years old. Number 34, Homer has died the most often in the Treehouse of Horror episodes, with a total of 20 times. Number 35, the band Green Day actually recorded a cover to the theme song for the movie. Number 36, the side character Uter is supposedly from Germany. However, the name Uter isn't actually a German name. Number 37, in the German version of the show, Uter is actually a Swiss foreign exchange student. Number 38, last time we mentioned the official crossover between The Simpsons and Futurama. However, there is an ongoing joke on The Simpsons that Futurama is actually a cartoon in The Simpsons universe. Likewise, The Simpsons often appear as a fictional show in the Futurama universe.
Hey guys, this is Soy from channel Frederator, and we're taking a slight break from another 107 facts about The Simpsons to tell you about more 107s we're bringing you next week. Next week we have 107 facts about One Piece and 107 facts about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And now, back to the facts.
Number 39. One episode shows the character Uter wearing a Futurama t-shirt at a sci-fi convention. That episode is Mayor to the Mob, aka episode 212. Number 40. A model of the Planet Express ship from Futurama can sometimes be seen on the shelf in Comic Book Guy's store. Number 41. Matt Groening appeared as himself in The Simpsons at a comic book convention, billed as the creator of Futurama. Number 42. However, the Simpsorama episode is definitely canon, as Bender can be seen later in the series in the basement waiting to return to the 31st century. Number 43, the show had another crossover earlier in the series. The season 6 episode A Star is Burns featured a crossover with the animated show The Critic when the show's main character Jay Sherman comes to Springfield. Number 44, Matt Groening was reportedly furious about the forced crossover, so much so that he tried to get the episode pulled and eventually had his name scrubbed from the credits. Number 45, the episode The Principal and the Pauper from season 9 is another episode publicly panned by Groening and other creators of the show, some of them even calling it a mistake. The episode was infamous for the way it rewrote the continuity of certain characters. However, Ken Keeler, who worked on the episode, claims the episode is the best thing for TV he's ever written. Number 46, Springfield has an abnormally high percentage of left-handed citizens. Some have thought that this might be because Matt Groening himself is left-handed. Number 47, the character Lou was actually shown as Caucasian for his first few appearances on the show. Number 48, Apu's full name is Apu Nahasapima Mapetalan. This is actually a spoonerism of the name Pahasani Mapetalan, the name of a fellow classmate of Simpsons writer Jeff Martin. Jeff Martin is the only name that's easy to say in that entire fact. Number 49, if you think 107 is a pretty ridiculous number, brace yourself because Homer Simpson has had 188 different jobs within the first 400 episodes alone. Number 50, in almost every shot of the Springfield power plant, a crow can be heard cawing. This tradition was carried over in the episode Kiss Kiss Bang Bangalore, where a cow can be heard mooing during the establishing shot of the Indian power plant. Number 51. Ricky Gervais is the first guest star on The Simpsons to receive a writing credit. Conan O'Brien has written for the show and appeared as a guest star, but never both in the same episode. Number 52. In earlier episodes of the series, Springfield Elementary can be seen with a bell tower. However, later in the series, it disappears with no explanation. Number 53. In 2012, former Simpsons writer Bill Oakley tweeted out his top 10 never-produced Simpsons episodes. The list contained only the working titles of the episodes and no description of the content. However, some of the fans have linked the titles to other leaked content from the show and audio commentaries on other episodes. Number 54. The unproduced episode Homer the Narcoleptic is actually brought up a few times during audio commentaries on the show. At the end of the commentary for Much Ado About Nothing, writers Bill Oakley and David X. Cohen discussed the unproduced episode, saying it was pitched multiple times but never picked up. They also mentioned the reason why, maybe because the title just about sums the episode up. Number 55. The episode Bart Gets an Elephant was actually based off a real Price is Right incident in 1956, when a contestant on the show actually won an elephant, which is about the best big case showdown I've ever seen. Number 56. Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Bart, is actually a Scientologist. Number 57. The unproduced episode Prince Comes to Springfield could be the planned sequel episode talked about in the audio commentary for the episode Stark Raving Dad. The producers talked about bringing back Leon Kompowski, the mental patient who thought he was Michael Jackson, except that this new episode he would think he was Prince instead. Number 58. The show has actually received a blessing from the Vatican. A Vatican newspaper stated that the characters are Catholics who raise questions regarding Christian faith. The same paper even encourages parents to let their children watch the show. Number 59. Finally, the unproduced episode Homer vs. Dr. Hibbert on the issue of race could have been a response to the show satirizing almost everything except race. In the audio commentary for Bart Sells His Soul, Oakley mentions a pitched story addressing race in Springfield, which never made it into production. Ultimately, the team felt that the show probably wasn't the best forum for dealing with racism. Number 60. The character Lionel Hutz claims to have gotten his law degree from Princeton. Princeton is actually one of the few Ivy League colleges that doesn't offer a law degree, lending evidence to Hutz being a phony. Number 61. While trying to come up with the voices of Patty and Selma, Julie Kavner asked creator James L. Brooks what he wanted. He responded, "They suck the joy out of everything." Number 62. Duffman is inspired by Budweiser's former mascot, Budman. His catchphrase, "Oh yeah," comes from the song Oh Yeah by Yellow, which was a popular song for advertisements at the time. Number 63. Duffman has dyslexia. Number 64. Matt Groening based comic book guy after himself and has stated it's how he imagines other people see him. Number 65. Hank Azaria based the voice of comic book guy off a neighbor he had during college. Number 66. Dan Castellaneta based the voice of desperate businessman Gil off of famous actor Jack Lemmon. Number 67. Marge's hair was originally going to conceal rabbit ears. Matt Groening wanted Marge to secretly be a rabbit from his comic series Life in Hell. Number 68. While this idea was finally abandoned for the show, it did make its way to the official Simpsons arcade game, which shows sprites of Marge's hair being pulled off her head at revealing rabbit ears. It can also be seen in her silhouette when she's shocked in the game. Number 69. During an interview, Matt Groening mentioned that he felt they were close to wrapping up The Simpsons. That interview was back in 2002. More than half of the entire series has been produced since then. Number 70. After hearing this, the media started circulating stories of the show being canceled to the point that the writers had to quell the rumors with an official statement saying they had no current plans of stopping. The writers poked fun at this incident in the episode 288 chalkboard gag by having Bart write, "I will never lie about being canceled again." Number 71. Several of the writers on the show are actually very talented mathematicians, a few of them even having PhDs in the subject. Consequently, the show contains several math jokes littered throughout, including one involving Homer almost disproving the infamous Fermat's last theorem. Number 72. The Simpsons predicted a number of future technologies throughout its run. In the episode Lisa's Wedding, which was written in 1995, the show accurately portrays the use of both video chats and smartwatches. Number 73. They also predicted autocorrect. In the episode Lisa on Ice, a bully character attempts to write Beat Up Martin into his PDA, which the machine autocorrects to Eat Up Martha. According to a former employee of Apple, this joke could be heard several times in the hallways during the development of the iPhone, as engineers struggled to get the keyboard to work properly. Number 74, the show has shown several different backstories for Homer being bald, including him losing it in high school, tearing it out, and army experimentation. Number 75, Bart is allergic to butterscotch, imitation butterscotch, glow-in-the-dark monster makeup, and shrimp. Number 76, Mr. Burns answering the phone with ahoy hoy is a reference to the preferred greeting of Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the telephone. Number 77, the hack doctor character Dr. Nick is based off real-life doctor George Nicopolos, who was indicted for prescribing narcotics to numerous celebrities, including Elvis Presley. Number 78, in the episode Itchy and Scratchy, the movie, Lisa talks about the celebrity cameos by Michael Jackson and Dustin Hoffman in the Itchy and Scratchy movie, and then goes on to talk about how the actors didn't use their real names, but you could still tell it was them. This is, of course, a joke about how both of the actors did voices for The Simpsons, but chose to remain uncredited. Number 79, another joke you might have missed was at the end of Lisa the Vegetarian. During the credits, Paul McCartney plays his song, Maybe I'm Amazed. If you reverse the audio, you'll hear a hidden recipe for lentil soup. This is a reference to the infamous Paul is dead rumor. Number 80, Bart Simpson first appeared in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in 1990 and continued to appear in the parade for the next 5 years. Number 81, at various parts throughout the series, a designation A113 has been used for inmate numbers as well as other places. This is a reference to room A113 at the California Institute of Arts, through which many animators have passed and is considered a signature for animator Brad Bird. If the number looks familiar, it may be because it's been used in every single Pixar movie as well. Number 82, the official motto for Springfield is Corruptus in Extremis, which translates to extremely corrupt. Number 83, when Dan Castellaneta was coming up with the voice of a groundskeeper character, he experimented with both a Spanish and Swedish voice before finally deciding on the ever-famous Scottish accented Willy. Number 84, according to the executive producer, the Simpsons movie script was started in 2003, and over 166 drafts of the script were made before the final version. Number 85, the choral version of the song Spider Pig that was used in the movie was actually composed by famous film composer Hans Zimmer, known for soundtracks to films such as Interstellar and Inception. He originally wrote it as a joke, but it was eventually used in the final version of the film. Number 86, when the Simpsons movie was being put together, the team used the working title Yellow Harvest. This is a reference to Blue Harvest, which was the working title for the film Return of the Jedi. Blue Harvest was also used as the title for the Family Guy parody of Star Wars. Number 87, the script for the movie was kept so secret that executive producers personally shredded every script after a voicing session. Number 88, Marge's maiden name Bouvier is also the maiden name of First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. Number 89, Marge's middle name is Jacqueline, another nod to the First Lady. Number 90, Homer's half-brother Herbert Powell invents a machine in the show that can translate baby talk into understandable speech. This was eventually made into an actual app that claims to be able to tell whether a baby is hungry, bored, or tired based on the cry. Number 91, the character Mayor Quimby is based on US President John F. Kennedy. Quimby's wife is even designed after First Lady Jackie Kennedy. Number 92, Professor Frink was inspired by Jerry Lewis's character from The Nutty Professor. Number 93, Frank's signature nonsensical utterances are simply written into scripts as Frink noise. Number 94, the writers originally wanted Otto the bus driver's full name to be Auto Mechanic, a pun that never made it to air. Ultimately, they decided to just call him Automan. Still, the Simpsons creative team is a pun-loving bunch. Number 95, Bumblebee Man is a caricature of El Chapo in Colorado, aka the Crimson Grasshopper, a character made for Mexican television. He was a goofy superhero who used his antennae to detect danger. Hank Azaria voices him. Number 96, Yeardley Smith, the voice actor for Lisa, originally auditioned for the role of Bart, and Nancy Cartwright tried out for Lisa. When they switched roles, Cartwright attempted a version of a voice she used on My Little Pony and the Snorks. This was how Bart's voice came to life. Number 97, Maggie has been voiced by 9 different people, including Matt Groening, Liz Georges, Gabor Chupo, Harry Shearer, Yeardley Smith, Nancy Cartwright, Elizabeth Taylor, James Earl Jones, and Jodie Foster. Number 98, the total number of recurring characters in The Simpsons is 161. So far, there have been 275 one-off characters, and 126 of The Simpsons characters are played by just 12 voice actors. Number 99, the first full episode to air was actually the 7th one made. The episode Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire, which was to air later in the series, ended up being the series premiere after a miscommunication with the animation studio about how the first episodes should be created. Number 100, the show debuted to the highest ratings in the Fox network at the time. 6 weeks in, the show was featured in Newsweek. After the completion of its first season in 1990, the show hit the top 10. The Simpsons was the only Fox show to make it that year. Number 101, in one episode, the writers had planned to make a joke involving the Soviet Union, but when the episode returned from the animators, the Soviet Union had broken up, forcing them to change the joke days before air. Number 102, the first choice for the guest star in the episode Marge vs. the Monorail wasn't actually Leonard Nimoy, it was George Takei. George Takei turned the episode down because he was on the transportation board in San Francisco and didn't want to be associated with anything mocking monorails. In case you were wondering, Marge vs. the Monorail was written by Conan O'Brien. Number 103, Leonard Nimoy also guest starred on episode The Springfield Files, where Fox Mulder and Dana Scully, from that other hot Fox property at the time, The X-Files, come to Springfield to investigate Homer's alien sighting in the woods. Number 104, Bart has appeared in every episode except one, the episode 4 Great Women and a Manicure. Number 105, when Groening was designing Lisa and Bart, he just gave them spikes for hair. At the time, he was used to drawing in black and white and never expected the characters being colored in. After the animators told Groening the show would be made in color for the same price as black and white, he chose The Simpsons' vibrant colors. Number 106, Lisa is the only Simpson whose character design does not include the color blue. This was done to further distinguish Lisa from the rest of her family members. And finally, number 107, during the 4th season of the show, the writers wrote Camp Krusty, which producer James L. Brooke tried to pitch as a movie but was turned down at the time. This took place over 15 years before the Simpsons movie was released.
Hey guys, this is Soy from Channel Frederator. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of another 107 facts about The Simpsons. That means we've covered 214 facts about The Simpsons. And if this is your first time watching 107 facts about The Simpsons, you probably missed the first one, so you should definitely click on that. Or we also have 107 facts about the Hunger Games on our Cinematica movies and TV channels. And remember, Frederator loves you.